Hey y'all, really quickly, spread the word, send this everyone you know. To our 6 faithful, old faithful subscribers. Make your family subscribe. Just turn off notifications. We're trying to change platforms to YouTube Live. We want to do it live because we're a little bit over the fakeness of AI. And we want you guys to see us fail in real time and, just face plant like we normally do. It's cool. We have a barrier to entry though, and that is 50 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We're at 35. Send, share, just click. Link will be in show notes. Thank you kindly.
Live,
We're
woohoo!
live. It's alive.
It's
It's alive.
oh my gosh. I woke up this morning to this text. I'm gonna read it to you. It's
Oh
hilarious.
God, this is gonna be good.
It's not that good, but it's kind of funny. So it's a screenshot
Mhm.
from Grace, and it says she screenshotted something her friend.
Roommate
Your
number
mom,
one.
yes, your mom hasn't posted a podcast in 2 weeks. Tell her that her fans are patiently waiting for an upload.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know.
I should send this to you, but we have a flock of chickens as fans, and they listen to us on a regular basis.
A flock of chickens? What is that?
My client is like feeding her chickens, and she said category 4 of your listeners chickens, and she sent me a picture, but you're not gonna be able to see it, of her
Oh my gosh.
out with the chickens, and she's like, I listen to you guys when I'm feeding the chickens. So we have chicken followers.
Yay!
They're chick fans. Isn't
That's
that
hilarious.
awesome?
I know, it's so funny. Oh my gosh.
We have not discussed the email, and we said we were going to.
I know.
So I don't know if we want to do that this time, because
Sure, we should. Let's
do
freaking
it.
let's go through it. Yeah. So, okay.
First,
Go ahead.
first we should just open with our define this and our how to, so that
Yes.
people can skip through if they want to go to those sections.
Our define this and our how to is holiday.
Yes.
It's one
holiday.
and the same this week. We're gonna share holidays with you, what we do now, what we did in the cult, what holidays were like in the cult. We'll share some fun stories, do all that. But yeah, it's like some interesting things. And yeah, and then we're gonna share how we do holidays now.
How to holiday after being in a cult with various smorgasbord of some slightly religious families and some not. So kind of how do you do that, and how do you do it peacefully? Okay, cool. So that's our segs today.
Yes.
The same
holiday. Since we're in the holiday season, do you have your tree up yet?
I don't even have room for a tree. I have no idea where I'd put it. I don't know. I might paint one on the wall. That's about it.
I have my tree up. Roommate 2's birth date is coming, and so I assumed that it was going to be during, and I'll be distracted. So I already put all my stuff up because I want to be fully baby whenever it's born. So,
yes. The second grandbaby.
Yeah. Baby number 2. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see what she looks like. I'm so excited. Okay. So let's go over. So we got this email probably a month ago, and it's from roommate 1. The OG roommate is how she signed it. So but anyway, she has been, figuring life out and coming into her own with her own opinions and everything. And
she's a mother.
She is a mother of a 5-year-old amazing child. She's actually a really good mom, but anyway, very different than how I approached motherhood, but it's working amazingly. So anyway, so she said, "Hello. As a listener, I wanted to give you some feedback, and this is regarding episode 9. Okay. On
What
what
was
you had,
episode 9?
what was
I don't even
episode
remember.
9?
I'll have to go look.
Yeah, you'll figure it out pretty quick.
Okay.
Uh, what you had said and share my experience, although holding anger and hate is draining. So we were talking about how you just let stuff go.
Yeah.
You know, and how we needed to like let stuff go to move
Move
on or
on.
whatever. Although hating and holding hate and anger is draining and making amends with my family members is important. I wanted to share my experience and maybe enlighten y'all on different circumstances where no contact is really important and healthy, which
I know what we're
can
going
be
to here.
100% sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yes. Um, you touched on sexual abuse and how that is a reason to stay in no contact with a family member, and that is completely valid. On the other hand, in my experience, I have family members disrespect my boundaries and did as I was growing up. As a child, my intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and physical boundaries were abused by a couple of adults in my life while simultaneously being cared for more by them in other ways. It was a total mindfuck, actually. The people that say they love you and show you love also call you names and say awful things to you and around you. This creates a dangerous and toxic dynamic for the child and can be the root of a lot of issues later in life: self-doubt, insecurity, shame, self-harm, and possibly the worst of all, people pleasing, along with many other issues, which
Yeah,
I get that
absolutely.
100%. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, when you decide to cut off contact, it's not easy and it does hurt, and you have to grieve those people. Grief almost killed me. I have spent a year reflecting and becoming the person I am going to be before they dimmed my shine. Now that I have spent months being myself and not worrying so much about their irrelevant opinions, I can say that this has been the biggest weight off my shoulders. I still have to work on myself, but it's so much easier when you do it for you and not for the evil voices in your head that family can put there. I have so much more peace in my life and about half the anxiety by just removing people from my life. It's not always a grudge or hatred. It can seem like that at first, but some people grow out of the toxicity and are happy. So I think that's totally true.
Well, I
I
also think she is setting her boundaries,
yeah,
right?
no, that's
By cutting
100%
off
what she did.
contact. So
Yes.
that when it becomes that damaging and that bad, then you do have to cut off contact, and that is a form of setting boundaries. Now, I don't think that that's permanent either. And I know that at younger ages, everyone thinks something, drastic is permanent, right?
Yes.
But I think that gives both the person who, receives the damage and or the detrimental behaviors, and the person who is giving them has time to figure out what those are within themselves, like redefining them internally for her, and then also giving the offending family members a chance to understand what it is like without having that person around or being involved. And then if in fact, not saying it should happen, not saying it will, but if in fact they decided at some point to reconnect, then the person who was inflicted that had that can then understand that there's a little bit more power, right, with roommate number one, and she gets to define the terms of that relationship on her own without having them be the authority in that situation.
Well, and I think that's 100% true. You can still love somebody and not
be around them,
choose to be around them or interact with them, because if it does mess with your emotions, and it's not healthy, it's not worth it.
It's emotional manipulation, emotional abuse. I mean, it's all there, and it's absolutely okay.
the root of this, which the root of it happened, obviously there was a lot of stuff that went on young, and I didn't even know about most of the things. I've learned about them later, but I think a lot of it started with the Roe v. Wade.
Yes.
And people actually showed a lot of true colors, and she was at rallies and showing support for women and making choices, and not everybody agrees with that. Well, you cannot agree with that
100%.
and not take it out on somebody that doesn't agree with you. And that happened. Like, they blocked her on social media. They blocked her on all kinds of things. And she's a child, in my opinion. Okay, she's still a child.
She's your child.
She's my child, but she's not the older people are the ones who should have taken the higher ground here and not done that, in my opinion.
For sure.
But at the same time, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But if it's family and you truly love them, why are you throwing such a fit over somebody having a different opinion than you?
Well, and this is something that we're going to be talking about in an upcoming episode, particularly with people who do call themselves Christians.
Yes, that will be our next
and that
episode.
That is upcoming. And the reason being is that, if you truly do care about someone, then you allow them to have space for their own opinions and their own belief systems and their own value systems, even if they don't agree with yours. And forcing any kind of that stuff on anyone or penalizing them for having their own is certainly not something that is both human. You have no reason to hate another human being whatsoever. I mean,
right.
In most cases, and I was listening to something about this yesterday. We have to wrap this up so we can get going on our episode. But
yes,
there was I'm not going to list it because I'm not going to promote it, but there was a podcast that was talking about whether or not we actually have free will. And the example that was used was a homeless guy and the CEO of a successful company, and that our determination or our way of life, had we switched everything about their lives, meaning, the CEO had a stellar education, he had a lot of opportunity, he had a lot of socioeconomic, already input, advantages as he was growing up. He went to the best schools, he had the best opportunities, he had all these things given to him. Gale Force winds at his back, right? And the homeless guy had the opposite. He had the complete, not opportunity to good education, not, everything the opposite, right? Well, if you just switch those, completely, then you would have seen the homeless guy be the CEO and vice versa. So everybody comes from different places in life, and every decision that they make is a part of all of the things that led up to them making that decision. So that's the reason, or the argument for the fact that we don't technically have free will, is because there are reasons why we make each choice. And a lot of those have to do with where we came from, what opportunities we were given, what opportunities we were not. And even though there is some people that have more self-determination than others, but there are advantages that, some people have that others do not. So making these choices to hate or to extinguish people in our lives, or to push them out for various reasons, is not necessarily being true to the fact that they might have made those choices because they had different opportunities not given to them or given to them. So there isn't really any real reason to hate anyone, and I do understand that there are special circumstances, like we talked about, in terms of, incest, sexual abuse, sexual predator, assault, there's a lot of gray area in that regard, because it's like, well, then, you may not be able to come to forgive or forget those major attacks on you, on your emotions, on your spirit, on your physical body, on your all of those things. But everything, all those choices were made based on where they're coming from. And that doesn't give you the reason, the opportunity, or the even necessity for judging someone else and what they feel or how they're acting. And
For
it's
sure.
certainly not reason to, disavow a family member. I mean, yeah. So anyway, I think that roommate 4 is doing just fine, and she's going through it. She's in the thick of it right now.
Roommate 1.
Roommate 1. What did
4.
I say? Oh, sorry. I meant roommate 1.
Yeah, she is. She's figuring it out, and the time away is good. So
absolutely.
Ooh.
Let's her set up her new rules,
Yep. Love it.
Okay, Liz.
Yeah.
Define holiday.
Oh my gosh. So there's so many holidays, right? Not all can be celebrated when you're in a cult. Okay, let's go with
like
Easter.
That devil's holiday.
I'm trying to think by way of let's go Easter. So the Easter bunny is the devil. I can't remember what they used to tell us, God, about the Easter bunny and what the insignificance of it was. But it was basically like, don't you dare have the Easter bunny because it's about Christ's resurrection.
Well, yeah, it detracts from
it's a
from the holy holiday that was randomly picked by someone.
Distraction. Okay. Yeah. And then okay, so July 4th, pretty much that's not a bad holiday in a cult.
Well, in our particular flavor.
Yes, version of cult. Yes. Let's see. We've got, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, those are all celebrated holidays. They were very pro-military for sure, which I think every person who serves is amazing. And
I think everybody should serve.
Yeah, I did
not necessarily military, but you know what I'm saying. I think everybody should be required to do a year or two of civil service.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Whatever. I think that would help quite a bit with disparaging viewpoints and beliefs that we have that just tend to, not make us connect to other humans. Sure. I think that would be an absolutely fantastic idea, but nobody listens to me.
Yes.
Oh, let's talk about the devil's holiday.
Oh my God, the devil's holiday. Okay. That would be Halloween. This is 100% a devil's holiday.
Oh my God.
You were not even allowed to be at home.
Nope. You were sequestered in the church.
Yes, you were to be at the church. Watching reruns or watching old movies. What old movies? What was
they allowed us to do Looney Tunes, the black and white Looney Tunes, really early Looney Tunes.
Yes.
That was one night out of the year that we got to actually watch film. And this was on
and it was on film. Yes.
Real to real. Yeah.
Yes.
And then if there was anything inappropriate, so
my goodness,
they would go through the individual film frames and with a magic marker, black it out so we could not see.
Yes.
I don't even know what it was because we couldn't.
Right.
See, but there was something inappropriate. Who knows? It was most likely sexual inappropriateness. And maybe, I don't know. It could have been something as benign as some girl wearing a pair of pants.
Yes.
And we were not allowed to see that. And then the other things that they would do every once in a while, there would usually be a feature film, Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again. I'm trying to think of anything else, but it was mostly really old timey
Don Knotts films.
Don Knotts. There was quite a bit of Don Knotts.
Yeah.
I want to say there was another kind of version, something else similar. Oh, not the Three Stooges, That comedy, you know what I'm talking about? There was two of them. There was two guys. Man, why can't I think of this? And they would do all these comedy sketches that were no sound. Like there was no it was not the talkies, it was the non-talkies. And the two of them, and then there was the Three Stooges. I do remember we would watch the Three Stooges.
Yep, we did watch a couple Three Stooges.
And so little like comedy sketch things that were like from the 1940s and 50s, I'm guessing. Yeah. And yeah, that was, and you know, oddly enough, on those nights when we were all sequestered in the church is where, you know, some rampant sexual abuse would happen. So, you know,
right.
Look out for the candy. but you might lose your virginity at 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oddly enough, right? Which is
yeah.
like, what are you protecting us from?
Yeah, because it was total dark, like perfect situation for a sexual predator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you were not allowed to be there. Or in Halloween dressing,
participate
like
in
any
Halloween.
Of that stuff was like super sinful. Like you were celebrating the devil. They literally had us believing that people sacrificed humans and animals, like all over the world. Like this is like
it was satanic worship. Happened.
And I do believe that there's people that do that kind of stuff, but it was like the reality is it's like not something that everybody does, and that's what we were made to believe. Like this was all going on. You could be kidnapped and like human sacrificed if you were like, oh my gosh. Crazy. It was like the fear, you know, the fear that they would.
That's how people get controlled.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I remember when my kids got to celebrate Halloween, and it was like literally the funnest thing ever.
Absolutely.
And I had a blast making them costumes because of course we weren't in the cults anymore, so we could do Halloween, which is literally just like a fun holiday. All my kids love scary shit, you know.
Oh yeah.
They're all into it. I am not into scary movies. They're into scary movies. Them and my kids and Randy will go.
I think they're hilarious
together. I don't like them.
I find it
never been a fan of scary movies. Don't like them now.
Entertaining.
Don't like them then.
Nope. Comedic. Yeah, and same with me and mine. I mean, we had a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun holiday. It is a
fun holiday.
It's absolutely kind of wholesome.
I mean,
right?
My gosh.
Like honestly, in every aspect of it, like some people get crazy and do stupid stuff, but that's any holiday. And I'm like, no, honestly, it's like, think about it, because what other holiday do you actually go out and meet your neighbors and like socialize with other people? I'm like, it can't get more wholesome than that, to like go out and talk to your neighbors, you know, and have a multi-generational gathering of anyone and everyone, you know. And it's kind of fantastic. Then also we had, so of course, so I'm referencing our sometimes annual treks to California, where we were allowed to go for Christmas.
Well, in the early years, it wasn't, because we've talked about this, but like the church cult didn't used to be so crazy when we were younger.
As is typical with most cults, they start out
more and more extreme as it goes on. So it wasn't a permission slip that had to be filled out to go see your family. You just had to get all your bases covered as far as like getting someone to fill in for you at the church and, you know, that kind of stuff. Your Sunday school classes you taught, or like, you know, your choir or whatever, you had to like let everybody know that
your duties
were going to be gone. It was just like a job. Like, you know, you have to turn in your notice that you're going on vacation. So when we were young, we would go to California, which is where my mother's family lived, and my grandma, she was like the person. But yeah, we would do that in the younger years. As we got older, it kept getting denied, so we went less and less. So I think when grandma started thinking, Well, no, grandma believed from a young age that we were in a cult and she was going to get a call one day that we had all drank the Kool-Aid and died. Like she actually said that.
She would say that.
She did.
I
She's
miss
like,
her.
oh my God, I'm just so happy you guys aren't there anymore. I was just so afraid I was going to get a call one day that you guys had drank the Kool-Aid and everybody was dead. And I'm like, oh my God. Because, oh my
Like,
God.
well, and she did do a lot intervention wise with us.
BRB, someone's at my door.
Okay, well, she did do a lot of intervention stuff with us though, meaning she would help us out financially. She would help us out with getting us out of there on the holidays to come see her and say hi. She would let us watch movies. Like she would just sneak it in under my mom's radar and be like, okay, here's some movies. She would slip in Shirley Temple movies because they were still black and white and quote unquote pretty wholesome and benign Shirley Temple movies. She would let us do things like that where she would just sneak it in on the fly. And of course, 3 children versus mom and grandma. I mean, us 3 plus grandma ganging up on mom. There was no contest. It was like, yeah, well, okay, we'll let them watch a Shirley Temple movie. Yes. But yeah, she did a lot for us. But knowing that afterwards, I'm like, why didn't you just come get us? Like, if you thought we were gonna die, right?
Yes.
Why didn't you?
Seriously.
Anyway,
I don't know. I think she was afraid that mom would cut off any relationship because mom was so loyal.
Well, boundaries.
And brainwashed into that I think, and I don't know. I've never actually asked mom that, but like, yeah, I remember us like crying in a closet one time with our aunt, begging her to let us come live with her. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, many times. Yep. I called her several times. Was that Amazon at your door?
No, it was roommate 3.
Oh, okay. So holidays, and then I remember, so we had really no experience with like, so at grandma's parties, my grandmother was a spitfire and she used to hold holiday parties. She would do a big, huge Christmas party and
big production, catering,
huge. Yep. I mean, huge, China. Huge. It was huge.
Okay. Stop. Oh my God.
But I remember being exposed to like adults having alcohol.
Oh yeah.
And we had one, you've always got the one uncle. And this was where it started like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. And he would just have a bit much to drink. And then he'd just get real friendly, you know, and not, I wouldn't say like too inappropriate. There was there was never any like hanky panky weird stuff, but he'd start pinching other people's butts and like kind of getting a little too handsy and a little too, you know, lovey-dovey kind of that way, not in a creepy way, just in like I'm really drunk and I'm gonna be super friendly now way. But I remember being exposed to that like during our holidays growing up. That was like, what is going on right now? You know, you had no idea. You were just like, this is so strange. Why are they acting that way? I'm not sure what's going on right now. And then I think I would remember mom saying, just stay close to me. Don't go hang out there. Yeah. You know, she would just try to like shelter us instead of actually tell us what was going on.
Yes.
Left to figure it out on her own. Anyway, well, and that was sort of growing up, and there was always, yes, the one holiday we could not participate in. Anything that was outside of like the Christian approved holidays, we could not really be a part of.
Well, Thanksgiving was obviously okay. We did Thanksgiving. We didn't even have food for Thanksgiving. I mean, I remember we'd be invited to random people in the church's house for Thanksgiving. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, that was pretty much most holidays though. I don't know that we ever really spent any completely secluded because it was kind of another opportunity to reestablish bonds
Yes. Yes.
in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think most of them were group.
Yes. Well,
oriented.
and Christmas wasn't supposed to be about gifts. It was supposed to be about the birth
Good
of
Lord
Jesus.
Jesus, Savior.
Yes.
Little 7-pound, little 6-ounce baby Jesus in a manger. He's my favorite one. I can't start laughing when I take a
Okay. Yep. So but Christmas was I remember like my mom would try and get us to California for Christmas because she was not going to be able to give us gifts.
Absolutely not.
No. I mean, I remember a couple of Christmases her making us things. We had a Raggedy Ann doll that she made one time.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. It was like a life-size Raggedy Ann doll for our size. It was ginormous.
Not really. I think in hindsight, you'd really not.
But I remember it being big. Yeah.
Stick with that.
It probably isn't. It was probably like 2.5, 3 feet tall, but I remember, but I do remember her, because like we were just trying to eat. So gifts was like something that you didn't do. We would make stuff for mom for Christmas, Mother's Day, things like that. I remember us like trying to make stuff. Oh my God, we were horrible.
Cross stitch a little
yes, we did cross stitch. Oh yeah,
mitts.
And like crochet.
Crocheting. Yeah, we would crochet a little. Yeah. Yeah. I never attempted gloves things or anything, but yeah.
Grandma bought me one year a boom box for Christmas, and I was so excited to be blasting my Christian CDs.
Yeah.
My boom box. Oh my gosh. Oh. But yeah, my grandma
forget Careless Whisper. I'm gonna go around the neighborhood with Amazing Grace. Weren't there.
Huh?
I said, forget Careless Whisper. You were about to go around the neighborhood with Amazing Grace.
Yeah. So she like my grandma was like the worst at like on the holiday. So we would always get things after the holiday. She would send us
her timing was impeccable.
See's candy. Remember?
Yeah. I cannot stand it to this day.
I know. I could eat it every day, but I don't eat sugar anymore. So I will never.
I absolutely hate it. I think it's the most vile, disgusting thing on the
planet. Oh my God, I love it.
The fact that people love it like makes me doubt our friendship. I don't get it.
It's like, no. Anyway, it's mom's favorite.
I don't know. Chris, Mylene, Mandy.
Mm-hmm. They all love it.
Oh, anyway,
I love it. But it's so full of sugar. Oh my gosh. But anyway, grandma would always send us that. She also used to send us these like tins of peanut butter. I mean, and when I say tins, I'm talking like coffee
can.
Yes, where there's like this much oil on the top, so you had to like mix it. It was like real peanut butter. It was so good. It was like a total treat.
Right from the factory.
Yep. But our Christmases would always start with like reading the Christmas story. Do you remember that?
Somewhat, but I do remember introducing Macy and her Jewish friend to that story and how.
Did you do that with your child?
This is where we got to get into the how to, because oh my God, I'm gonna start crying if we start talking about this story. This is the funniest shit. I swear to God, my poor child. Oh, she's not poor. She had so much exposure to so many things. Because I was like, you're not going into the world unknown, like unknowing. Yeah, the Bible story. Yes, we had to do that at grandma's house. I remember.
Oh my gosh, if we were out there for Christmas, we would be like dying to open gifts because my grandma always got us gifts, and my mom would be like, we have to read the Christmas story before we open gifts so we remember what the meaning of Christmas is.
As if we hadn't heard it about 12
I
times
know.
prior.
Yes. Santa Claus wasn't even a mention. My granddad would always write from Santa, and I just think it just irked my mom.
So did grandma.
She did too.
Yes.
I don't remember that, but I do
They
remember
all
granddad
tried to
always doing
carry
that.
on the Santa Claus
Yes,
like
it's like that's
lie,
part of that's the
because that's
fun.
kind of the
Like,
fun.
it's the
It's like
fantasy, you know,
Santa brought
of
it.
gifts. Yes.
But
Oh,
yeah, we'd start with the Bible story. Good reading of what is the meaning and why are we here and what is the purpose of this sacred day. Don't let your darker and your deeper vile selves come
okay,
to the
shut it.
table.
Stop. Move on. Having PTSD over here.
I was just channeling, like, the old revivalists of the greater times
so
in our
funny.
history.
Oh dear God. Very funny.
Well, the how to now is kind of like, okay, well, what do we do now? Which I feel like we're both pretty traditional now, just like normal.
Yeah.
We're normal-ish.
I mean, normal in the world standards.
Well, I have to tell you
whatever
this.
you want to call normal.
I
don't
have
know
to get this
what
story off my chest, or I'm just gonna
Okay,
giggle
tell the
about
story.
it.
Tell the story.
Until we don't. And then, well, I think the more important part is like how we do it with other people around us. That don't believe the same or whatever, because that's important. So when roommate 4 was in high school, her best friend was Jewish. Like real Jewish. In fact, up until last year, they were roommates through college. I mean, they worked at the same jobs through high school. They kind of stuck together, and then I drove them to college and put them in their dorms the first year and all that, and they stuck together for a long time. So on the holidays, of course, her friend is Jewish, so they would do Hanukkah, which is very different than our Christian whatever version of Christmas is.
Sure.
So we did a teenager exchange program for the holidays. And so roommate 4 went to her buddy's house for Hanukkah, and then her buddy came to our house for Christmas. So, and it was so funny because like the exchange, like from roommate 4 going to Hanukkah, she came back and I was like, so how was it? How was Hanukkah? And she was just like, there was a lot of singing. That was it. Nothing else. She gave me nothing more. There was a lot of singing.
I will be back again.
Okay. So then her buddy comes over to our house for Christmas, and I made sure to get her, I was like, we're gonna have the whole experience. We're gonna get her a little present so she understands the concept of like giving of gifts, and that there's nothing attached to it. It's just kind of like a expression of abundance and to celebrate the end of the year, yada yada. So in terms of this, I didn't want to just give her like the commercial Christmas Santa Claus holiday experience. I was like, well, there's a couple different versions of this, and I'm kind of going to show you all of them. So, you can kind of have a better understanding of what it's all about. So I read her and roommate 4 a portion of the Christmas story from our dear saint Matthew. I think it was Matthew. I don't remember. Anyway, so I start reading the story and I look up at them both, and they're sitting on the couch and they just have these blank stares on their face, and they're like, we don't understand a word you just said. And I was like, fair, absolutely fair. That tracks, right? So at that point, I get up and reenact the Christmas story, including what I now know is an Irish Jesus and a pregnant Mary with a balloon in my belly. And we did the whole nativity scene in charade form. And that is my teenager exchange Christmas story. which was absolutely hilarious. Anyway, okay. So how do you do the holidays when you have a cult upbringing? How do you have a holiday when you have a lot of other people around you, some of which agree, some of which do not agree with either your religious beliefs, your traditions, your holiday celebrations? How do we navigate that now?
I just don't do anything I did.
Just reverse it. Put that thing down, flip it, and
Reverse.
reverse it.
Yes, like literally. I mean, since the kids were little, and we've tried every version of Christmas, like with tons of gifts, with just like 2 gifts, with like, you know, all of the things.
Mixing
And
it
I
up.
mean, right now we're at a point where we're not doing gifts, we're doing an experience. So we're having like a trip. And because
We all need more things.
nobody needs more things.
Nobody needs more things.
I know. I think when they're little kids, it's fun to buy them things
buying
and
into
do
it.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like my grandkids, of course, I will buy them gifts. But like I want to get them something that they can do too, you know?
Yeah.
And then whenever for Christmas, my kids are like, this year, they're like, are we gonna at least get stockings?
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I'll do stockings. Because that's kind of my thing. I love to do stockings. But that's something that I've always done is, you know, everyone gets like a really fun stocking. And it's sometimes it's like really silly stuff, but it's just like fun. Like the child in you Christmas stuff. But then we're gonna, you know, have a weekend trip with, you know, the whole family. So I think that that's gonna be better for me, it's better because you make memories instead of buying crap. Like seriously.
Yep.
Like I said, we've done everything. Like one year we didn't do gifts. We went to the Dallas football game, which everybody in my kids had a blast doing that. So I mean, we just do different things. And you know, sometimes it's gifts, sometimes it's we change it up. But I honestly don't think that anybody needs anything. And like we're very blessed in that aspect.
Absolutely.
We don't need anything. I mean, of course, there's shit you always want that you don't have, but need actually no.
Right.
Whereas like when we were growing up, there was things we needed. So like if you got something you needed, that was like exciting because you weren't gonna get it. My mom would get a sum of money sometimes at Christmas. And we would all go to the dentist. We would go to the doctor. We'd go to the eye doctor.
Get some clothes and new shoes.
Get some clothes. Yes. Like things that we were not allowed to have all year.
Well, it's not that we weren't allowed to have them.
Well,
it's that
yes,
mom couldn't afford them.
We couldn't afford. Yes. Afford is the right word. But we didn't ever have those things. And so mom would always make that a priority when she would get some money at Christmas. Because her grandmother was a very generous lady and she would give money to all of her grandkids every year, and my mom was one of them. So anyway, but for me it's just like Christmas. But I love the games. Like let me tell you, the games are where it's at.
Like the Hunger Games?
No, like Christmas stupid, you know, games.
Well, we've been pretty good about that too. Every once in a while, well, especially because we all live far away from each other, we'll do some rando challenge. We have to figure that out this year.
Yes.
Do a rando challenge that we video share. And often we do the 12 days of Christmas. Yes, I know it's Thanksgiving. Don't just slide in and tell us all we're doing it wrong, because we are very aware it's Thanksgiving. But then we assign each family members, or you know, whoever wants to participate, a day of Christmas, and they have to record them singing it.
Yes.
And then we compile it at the end of the day, and then we have a family.
Got some good videos.
We do. We have a family video archive of dumb 12 days of Christmas happening on Thanksgiving. So we'll probably end up doing something like that this year too. Which
we did it on Christmas last year. We did the freeze frame photos, which were awesome.
Yeah, that was actually really fun. Sarah and I put that one together, and that was a blast.
Yep.
We even got Mandy's cat in there, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And then I also so this goes to what sort of I was talking about. There's a how to involved in someone who doesn't really separate the secular from the Christian part of the holiday, and how they have a problem seeing like religion and like secularism like butt heads. We had
Okay,
this we
say
had
that
this
more
we
clear.
had this conversation yesterday or the day before, because we were talking about someone who had an issue with someone who claimed to be Christian doing things that were not Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Do we remember
Yes.
this
Yes,
conversation?
I
Okay,
remember this conversation.
so this transfers over to holiday stuff too, like where you're, you know, whatever, have your religious ideas about how a holiday should be, right? And then there is a secular aspect. There's secular and religious aspects to most of the holidays here in the United States. So
Sure.
I'm like, okay, well, if you're coming out of a cult and you're not sure, you know, well, what's secular, what's religions, what, you know, is okay to do if you're on either end of the spectrums, because there's spectrums, right? But then how do you deal with family members who are kind of caught in between, right? What's the approach?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I don't know. I like it is a fine line. I know my mom struggled with it for us when we were growing up in certain things when family would do that, but also she loved her family no matter what, I think. So that was interesting. But I don't know. Even when I was grown, well, I was already questioning, so that doesn't really count. It's tough to it's tough to do that. I think you just have to respect and go along with it. And also, it doesn't mean you're a bad Christian if you participate in something fun. Like it can just be a fun thing, like Santa Claus or like the Easter Bunny or any of those things. Like it's not negating the fact that you believe that that was when Christ rose from the dead and when, you know, Jesus was born. Like it's not negating that if you choose to participate in the fun aspects of the holiday, which maybe have made up by a man, but it doesn't mean that you're disallowing your beliefs on Jesus, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I think
And
you can have both and it's okay.
right. And, you know, I think there is a element of it where you begin to judge or alienate or right,
Yeah.
start to push your thoughts about what you should or shouldn't do onto
You can't do that onto
anyone
other
else.
people. No,
Yeah.
you can't. You
And
can believe whatever you want, but if you push your stuff or your thoughts or opinions on someone else, it's just going to turn them off.
right. Well,
That's what I think.
this is what and then I'm like, well, how do you manage that
Yeah.
when you have a person like that in the family and who may be still involved and then also may be very judgy or very opinionated about what you should or shouldn't do based on their beliefs, right? Which you already know you have no problem dealing with that, but some people might not.
Yeah.
They might have a harder time handling that or knowing what to do with that, right? And you know,
I
of
think
course
that's
there's
where you have to just decide that you're just going to let it go.
well, there's always killing it with kindness too.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, true.
I respect you. Can you respect me?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
God. You know, that's turning the table, right?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little bit to where you kind of just
Challenging.
yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Did we cover everything?
I don't know.
Did we do
Maybe.
the thing?
Do we do the thing?
Did we do it? Did we do it? What do you got going on today?
Today I am, well, it's right before Thanksgiving, so work is a little crazy. Already went and did an appointment this morning before this and gonna work. And then tomorrow I'm working I think I'm only working till 4 o'clock, which is great. And then I'm gonna be cooking.
Yeah,
We're not
I'm
doing
excited.
traditional Thanksgiving this year. We are doing like everybody pick something you like, and that's what we're making.
Excellent.
Which it is turkey and ham, but like
Sure.
sides.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
green bean casserole, who likes green bean casserole? That's the nastiest crap in the entire universe.
Depends on how you make it, because most people make it like shite.
Oh, no, it's milk, cream of mushroom soup, and then French onions on top. And that is
not how you make it.
But that is the traditional green bean casserole.
No, somebody told you that lie.
No, it's on the back of the French onion can.
Blech, that's disgusting. That's not how you make it.
It is so gross.
It is so gross.
Oh.
We kind of did the same thing too, where I was just like, what do you guys have to have?
Yes,
like
that's what I did.
You tell me what you have to have, like what makes you Thanksgiving, dinner. And then we kind of worked backwards from there too.
Yep.
So I am not doing a whole lot today. I have to teach class this afternoon, and then I have a couple clients here and there. But Thursday I woke up with a flat tire.
Yep.
I went and picked up the car, and the battery didn't work. Literally same freaking day. Same effing day. And now I call it, my car is on exciting mode. So like, I don't know if it's going to start or not. I don't know. It's kind of like, surprise, it started. Yay. So
it's a lottery.
I need to go get that handled.
Yeah.
Today, so I have a better week next week and don't have to be on exciting mode. Surprise battery mode all the time. So anyway. All right. Well,
cool.
Anything else we should share about holidays?
Holidays. Nope. I think you should celebrate your holiday however you see fit.
Absolutely.
Like, have fun with it. Like, make memories. Like, seriously, I think the best thing about the holidays is making memories.
Yes.
Making good memories. We're not all going to be here forever. So, enjoy the memories.
The little moments.
Yep. Yes. The moments, the memories, and enjoy your family and the people you can be with. And
kiss them, hug them, love them.
Yes.
Call them George.
Because you never know if it could be their last, which
absolutely
is kind of a depressing note to leave on, but it's actual fact.
We're all getting there. It's just a matter of when. So time is precious, and this is a time you get to probably spend more time with people you love. So use it.
Yes, use it.
Don't abuse it.
Well, hopefully a lot of people get to be off work, which is nice to, hang with your family or your friends. A lot of people can't get to their family, so hang out with your
Friendsgivings. Yep.
Friendsgivings. Have a good holiday. By the time this airs on Spotify and YouTube, or on Spotify,
it will probably be past
Apple, it will be past Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
But yes, so for Christmas, do these things.
Same.
You're watching on YouTube. Hey, how do people watch on YouTube, by the way? Because I was asked that question, and
Sisters Declassified. So it's on the channel. You're gonna have to go to our account, our Sisters Declassified, right?
Okay, so it's just Sisters Declassified.
Actually, it's at Elizabeth Humble. I did not do that. That was you.
No.
Yes.
You've done only all the YouTube.
I did the YouTube. You set up the account though with Sisters Declassified email, and that goes to at Elizabeth Humble.
Oh, okay. I did set up the email. Okay, so that's what it is. At Elizabeth Humble.
At Elizabeth Humble on
We'll
YouTube.
see if we can change that, but that's how you watch us on YouTube.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep. All right.
I love you.
Keep in mind, I love you too.
Bye, everybody.
Yell at us, Sisters Declassified, Gmail. Sisters Declassified
at gmail.com. Yes.
All right. Bye.
In 1998, I was the whistleblower in a massive pedophilia case involving the Independent Fundamental Baptist Church, Cornerstone Baptist Church in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I was the lead key witness in a case that took down an entire network of child abusers. Charles D. Miller was sent to prison, and this was prior to the statute of limitations law being lifted in Colorado. In fact, shortly thereafter, it was lifted, and he would have gotten life in prison. My sister and I wrote a book about what it was like growing up in the cult. We're looking for publishers. We are going to self-publish, but we need your help. If you know of anyone, hit us up. Contact info is in the show notes. Thank you kindly.